Hey guys, it's FakeThriller, and today I'm bringing you sort of a regular old topical commentary. I had a topic in mind that I sort of wanted to bring up and discuss with you guys, and tell you a bit of a story and get your feedback. And this sort of popped up when me and Snoov were we were riding around town talking about a few different things, and it came up to the topic about gamer tags and how we came up with our gamer tags and how we come up with our different names and sort of how we identify ourselves with our gamer tags now, or our YouTube handles, or our usernames in general. And so what I want to do is I think I want to tell you guys the story about how I came up with FakeThriller and how we came up with SHuSTYBANG, because that's a question we get all the time. And it's a fun story. I mean, it's not like nothing crazy, but it's a fun little history lesson, and you can sort of see some of the history behind some of our rather odd names. And I guess I'll start with FakeThriller because that name has been in existence for the longest. And basically what it is, if any of you used to watch Call of Duty commentaries or are familiar with the YouTube scene in the Call of Duty world, I'm sure you've heard of CNanners. And I shared the exact same story with him. And for those who don't know what that is back on the original Xbox, I was using the name Thriller all the time. That was my name in Halo. Every time I'd go over to my buddy's house, like, you know, he used to create new profiles on the console, each individual console and everything, because there wasn't really Xbox Live happening too much back on Halo 1 or at all. So I would go, and Thriller was always my go-to name. And for some reason, I always had an attachment to it. And I did it based off of the song Thriller by Michael Jackson, which I think every high schooler has to go through a phase where they show some sort of homage or tribute to Michael Jackson. And in one way or another, call him the king and all that crap. So I was going through that particular stage where I thought I was cool talking about music that came before me. And if any of you give me a hard time about Michael Jackson, I'll kick your ass. I'm just kidding, but seriously, come on. So Thriller was my go-to name. Then Halo 2 came along, and it was time to sign up for Xbox Live. And wouldn't you know it, Thriller somehow was taken probably immediately. And Xbox Live suggested a number of different things, like my real name is Chris, so it was like Chris Thriller and Thriller Chris, and it would like change a few things here and there, and it would just add random words on. And FakeThriller was one of the ones they gave me to choose from. So I was like, yeah, that sounds kind of cool. I mean, I didn't think too much about it, but you know, it had a nice ring out of the options that they were giving, which is ironic in the sense now when I think back on it, because now when websites like forums and everything suggest different names based on what you wanted plus your information, they always suck. They're always like the worst names ever. But Xbox Live does a pretty good job of coming up with weird gamer tags and stuff like that. So thus FakeThriller was born, and I've gone with that ever since. It's been everything I signed up on, from YouTube to forums. I use it every forum I visit. I pretty much go under FakeThriller, and you know, every new platform, like my Steam account. Like, I don't even use Steam. Anything I've signed up for, I usually go with FakeThriller. And I want to come back to it in a little bit, but now I'm going to tell you about the SHuSTYBANG name and how this came to be. And some of you might have heard the story before. It's nothing spectacular, but there's a little bit of more history that goes into it that even Snoov might not know about. And so I'll jump right into it. So back in the day, before me and Snoov have known each other for a long time, but there's been plenty of periods where we haven't really hung out. And this is back in the day of Austin Powers was like the funny movies out for the summer and everything, and Halo 2 was really popular, and it was Austin Powers 3 in Goldmember, I think it's called, and their Goldmember, the character, he was like from Holland, and his big thing was like, I'm from Holland, isn't that weird? And he would talk funny. And there's certain parts in the movie where he's like, there's people are shooting, And he would say things like, "Oh, easy, why are you shoosting at me?" Like he would say shooting funny, but he would pronounce it shoosting. And so at the same time, Halo 2 was out, and I was really into playing Halo 2 with a bunch of my friends. And I don't know if you guys even played Halo 2 or if you remember this map. There's this huge map, I think it was called Waterworks or something. It was this big open cave. And nobody liked playing on it because it was so big. It was like sort of dark bluish purple in a big cave. And there was like a structure in the middle. And it was usually, we would play capture the flag on it. And it was so big because it was just Halo 4-on-4. You couldn't find each other. Like you would occasionally hear shooting off in the distance, and like when you would die and you come back to life, you'd have to run. It's kind of like Battlefield. You have to run for like an hour before you could find anyone. So you'd hear these firefights going on, and my friends and I, like, it just evolved from Austin Powers and Goldmember saying like, "Oh, you're shoosting at me." It used to be, "Where is all the shoosting?" Like that's what we used to say, like when we were running for the battle. Just stupid stuff when, you know, when you're playing, you just come up with these stupid things that you say while you're playing to pass the time, like little inside jokes and stuff like that. So that whole "where is all the shoosting" transformed into however many years later, multiple years later, I took a pretty long break of playing competitive video games from Halo 2 all the way up into COD 4. When I got back into COD 4 with Snoov, our big thing was search and destroy, and we used to play, I mean, nothing but COD 4 search and destroy all the time. So I remember on Creek we used to play, and it would be like that was one of the bigger maps in COD 4, and you'd hear someone die like across the hill, and you'd be like, "Oh," I used to say like, "Oh, where's all the shoosting?" And then Snoof picked it up. It's just something like the language. It's infective. We used to say it back and forth, and then when it came down to picking a name for YouTube, it was like time to brainstorm. And I don't know, I don't know how professional it is. It actually has been, I wouldn't say a nightmare, but it's kind of tough for people to pronounce, I guess. Like, we had this great idea where it's SHuSTYBANG, and then, so Snoop goes, "Oh, how about SHuSTYBANG?" And the bang comes from our COD 4 clan tag. That nothing special about that. It's just you could only pick 4 little words, and I think I changed it to bang at one time, so we happened to roll with SHuSTYBANG. I know people have a hard time pronouncing it sometimes and all that jazz, but that's pretty much what it is. It's where it came from, and it just stuck. We jumped all over it, and so Snoop goes, "Oh, SHuSTYBANG." And I'm like, "Yes, that's awesome." And then I said, instead of saying SHOOSTY, how about we put a U with the 2 dots, because that's kind of like that sound, SHuSTYBANG. And that's what we ran with for the longest time. If you go back and look at some of our earlier videos, they have it's always all caps except for the lowercase u and the 2 dots. And I tried to make those 2 dots into part of like our graphical design, which I'm not a graphic designer. I'm just trying to make YouTube emblems and stuff like that. I'm trying to come up with cool things, but it's kind of weird how you pick your name and then that turns into your identity. You sort of form around that. Like, for instance, I was talking to people on Twitter about this, and one guy who comments on all our videos, and he follows us on Twitter, he's really active, he's one of our really active subs, White Pond, he told me that he created his gamer tag. He just happened to be holding like, he likes chess, and he was looking at a white pawn or something like that, and boom, white pawn. And now his Twitter emblem is a white pawn. So it's almost like he took his name, and now we identify ourselves based off our name. Like, we find imagery to sort of represent the name that we chose for ourselves. So what I want in the comments, and I'm looking forward to this, I'm hoping you guys have some awesome stories and are really looking to make a conversation in the comment section about A, where did your gamer tag come from? How did you come up with it? And B, are you tied to it? Do you feel identified by your gamer tag, or is this just the flavor of the month? Do you make a new gamer tag all the time? Do you use the same gamer tag or the same handle on every piece of media that you come across? Like on forums, do you sign up with the same name? On Twitter, do you use the same name? Or do you just sort of jump around and use different names? I think that's a really interesting thing because gamer tags are like, at the beginning, they're sort of an enigma, and we're, you know, we can hide behind our gamer tags. It's an online handle, so you can be like XX hot chick 95 XX, and you're a dude and nobody knows it. But in the gaming world, you know, you pick your gamer tag, and then if you say like well, that's a bad example. If you say CTF for life, and then, you know, you show up into a capture the flag lobby, people might be like, this guy kind of isn't fucking around. He's really into capture the flag. Like, it's weird how these names in gaming are different from just regular screen names. So I'd love to know how you guys came up with your gamer tag and if you feel tied to it. Because I know I do. FakeThriller is like my name. Sometimes when, you know how you have that awkward time where before you are introduced to someone and you sort of play the moment in your head, like preparing for like the handshake and the introduction. Sometimes I picture myself going, how's it going? My name is FakeThriller. And I'm like, no, I cannot say that because I am in a professional environment and it is not YouTube. But I've been rambling for almost 12 minutes now, but I'm infatuated with this topic. So if you guys could, like I said, leave some stories in the comments below, let me know how you feel. And I look forward to it. So thanks for listening to me talk. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of history on SHuSTYBANG and FakeThriller. And I will catch you guys later. If you're looking for a little bit more SHuSTYBANG in your internet, be sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/snoop603 and twitter.com/FakeThriller. In addition, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/SHuSTYBANG. Also, be sure to follow me on TwitchTV so you can catch up with all our live streams in the future. twitch.tv/FakeThriller.